How we doing? Yeah, pretty strong. Pretty okay. The Andrew Sand could use a little bit of help, so let's boost him up a small bit. 1 HP at a time. As exciting as that is. Alright, you're probably fine. Okay, so it came from there. Fucking ambush skeletons! Alright, listen, skeleton, we're playing for keeps. And on the table, your life versus mine. Which is probably a really shitty bet to make with the undead, because they're not, you know, alive. Joke's on him, I'm dead on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so I rounded a corner. Going here, right? Yep, alright. Here's time to pick this motherfucking lock. Oh, I can't. This is one of those special doors where I can only use strength. Oh, joke's on you. I have a ton of strength. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna fucking do it. You can't tell me I'm not gonna. The lack of background music in this game is tough. It actually enhances the experience. You don't really get music in dungeons, so there's no real reason why there would be background music while playing this game. And to that, I would agree. It's very immersive. Puts me in the mindset of my party, venturing through these dank sewer caves. No good music to listen to, no bards existing in the world. Would I recommend this game to other people? Sure, why not? You like D&D. If you need something a little mindless to dive into, then yeah, you know what? Throw this in to your Game Boy Advance. Give it a shot. Try to run through all 10 levels of the dungeon. Get your own background music. I highly suggest your own background music. Maybe a podcast. Put on your favorite YouTube video and listen to that in the background. No one wants a scimitar. How are we doing? We could use a camp. This is a good place to camp. I can't unlock. Ooh. Oh, hey. Blessed wand, magical cap, magical cape. Let's see. Can either of these two identify stuff? Alright, the blessed wand, I'm assuming casts bless, so I'll give that to Rusvik. And then I'll give her both of those. And let's see. You know what? My rogue, because she has use magic device, should actually be able to use wands. So I'm gonna toss it to her so she can kind of act as a discount blessed caster cleric thing. Guess there's only one way to figure out what these do. Okay. I gotta do this the fucking hard way and see what changed of her stats. Let me see. I don't know if anything about her stats changed. Neck. That also seems to have done fuck all. So I guess I just won't equip them, because who knows what they do. Alright, let's take a solid rest. Okay, why not? I think the cap and the cloak increased our AC by 1. So that's neat. Add 2 spells to my spell book. Don't mind if I do. Bolt of Strength is good. Web is good. Blur is good. Oh, looking at all these good spells. Let's... She could be a buff bot. Why not? Blur is really good. Blur... I forget the exact definition of blur in this particular edition, but it basically, I think, gives... If you cast it on yourself, it gives opponent a miss chance, like a percentage chance that their attack will just flat out miss, which is wonderful. Bolt of Strength increases the character's strength, which is also good for frontline fighters, so I'm going to have her grab Blur and Bolt of Strength. She also gets a feat. Let's do Point Blank Shot. Let's do Point Blank Shot. That'll probably help ranged a little bit. Fucking skills. Whatever. Good. Now we're all set. Next steps. Inventory management. Since it looks like these magical items increase AC by 1, let's give Vost the cap. And Rustic the cape. ACs are in theory better, whatever. Let's do it. What did that open? Where did that even come from? Where am I even going? What is this? If I go to my right and straight down, I should be able to go to my left. Right. Right down. Right, yeah. Fuck you, skeletons, I got magical items. Vost ain't afraid of no skeleton. Really good at dodging they are, though. Nice. 1 point of damage. Awesome, Knucklebone. You know what? Fuck it. Let's turn some undead. Depending on your level, turn undead just either, in D&D terms, would either send weak undead, or undead you can affect, running away from your character, or if you're powerful enough, it would instantly destroy them. For simplicity, I think this game just has to instantly destroy them. It's fine. Vost is fine. It's whatever. I don't care about your turn, Knucklebone. You guys don't matter. Half the party actually doesn't matter. Yeah. It's this weird thing where at lower levels, like, your frontline fighters are really important, and at higher levels they're really not important, because spellcasters kind of wipe the floor with things, because high level spells just get so ridiculous. And it's one of the reasons I don't even really enjoy high level content in D&D. There's just so many spells and magical effects and shit like that to keep track of that it just bogs down gameplay. I prefer low fantasy anyways. Or in this case, boring fantasy. What? Why is the skeleton casting magic missile? Maybe it's a wizard skeleton. Whatever. And just like that, most of your team is destroyed. Like I said, things are going a lot smoother now. Just a few bumps in the road. Low level, getting used to the game's weird mechanics. All that's sort of good stuff. Huzzah, I'm the best. That was a lot of XP. I don't like the look of this. Okay, where am I? That's neat. Wait, there's nowhere else I can go, huh? Oh, except all the way back up there. Well, do I have to put a sword here? Do I have an extra sword? I do have a longsword, because he's using longsword +1. Yeah. How I use item. How do I oh, that seems like a trap, but it might not be. Kukri. Thanes has a dagger +1, it's better than a Kukri. Kukris might even be exotic weapons in this, who the fuck cares? I think everyone has metal armor, but just in case you don't, here you go. And there's a small metal shield, which I don't know how good that is. Right, he has fucking mithril. Great. Masterwork scale mail's pretty good. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that also doesn't matter. Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. This is pointless. Let's go. Okay. I took damage? Did I? Was that... fine. Every time I walk into something like this, I'm like, ambush skeletons, ambush kobolds, what's gonna happen? Alright, Bear, you've been trapped in these dungeons for a long time. You finally join up with a party of 5 very motivated individuals for saving Waterdeep from... evil. It's time to prove your worth. And you did it! Voss is very impressed. Very, very impressed. However, the skeleton threats has not been destroyed yet. A skeleton lunges forward. Voss seizes his opportunity to strike, misses. The skeleton retaliates and misses. Another skeleton lunges forward, attempting to attack Thanes, but Thanes is too dexterous for the attack to land. Voss, seeing Thanes in danger, is motivated by pure, raw passion that he decides to strike down the skeleton standing in his way. But unfortunately, he sucks. So, a skeleton from the background launches a magic missile that looks like a fireball, injuring Voss slightly, scorching his arm, burning his favorite shirts, and the rest of the skeleton liege continues to move forward. Thanes, seeing herself in a spot of trouble, backsteps, spins around, and launches a volley from her light crossbow. And she sucks. So, another skeleton from the background launches a magic missile that looks like a fireball, scorching Voss, the side of Voss, the other side of Voss' best shirt. Knucklebone, enjoying Voss' shirt being unscorched, decides that she needs to do something. So she wants to acid splash the skeleton, currently engaged in raw physical melee combat with Voss. She splashes the skeleton with a small bit of acid. It does some damage, but the skeleton pays no heed to its burnt bones. Yandrasand, being too old for this shit, decides to sling a sling arrow into melee, not really even aiming, not really even caring, and he backsteps a little bit because fuck this noise. Rusvik, all out of turn undeads, sees his party in trouble, graciously moves in front of Thanes, and light maces the air in front of the skeleton, looking very unthreatening as he does so. Bear, being the skeleton slayer of legend, decides to help Vost out, teaming up against the skeleton, going into flanking position, as if it did anything in this game. And he cripples the skeleton, cracking some of its bones with Bear's dwarven war axe. Vost, seeing his opponent gravely wounded, seizes initiative and attempts to strike him down, but he sucks. So in shame, he skips the rest of his turn. Bear takes light damage from the skeleton's buddies. Thanes, wanting to help Rusvik, shoots over his head and actually cracks into the ribcage of the skeleton, engaging him in melee. Mr. Skeleton Wizard decides I'm all out of spells and goes to hit Bear from the side, but he exposed himself, and Bear swung an attack of opportunity, unfortunately leaving him completely exposed on all sides to be swarmed by a skeleton army. Knucklebone, realizing something drastic must be done, decides that the only real course of action she has to choose is to shoot blindly into melee. And of course, she sucks too, so we go to Yandrasand, who's fairly apathetic. You know what, Yandrasand is so fed up with this shit that he decides he doesn't want any more of this. He just, fuck this noise, right? So he's peacing out. He says he's done fighting, and he's gone. I wonder how far I can move away with him. Oh, Rusvik wants to finish his own melee so he can help his friends, and he does so, crushing the skeleton he's fighting. And then moving to a tactical vantage point against the skeletons surrounding Bear. Bear, in a little bit of a tough spot, graciously backsteps, and then attempts, ever the comrade, to help Vost in his battle. Doing so, destroying the injured skeleton, freeing Vost to move forward into flanking position with Rusvik to gravely wound another skeleton. And then as that skeleton tries to sprinkle magic powder on itself, sparkling dust on itself, it's also wounded by both Rusvik and Vost. Now this combat's going for a while. I don't know how much more I can do with this. Thanes shoots some fucker in the distance. It fails because she's garbage. And the skeleton reaches across in practical distances. Two of them do. It doesn't work out. Their arms aren't actually that long. Knucklebone, not being as apathetic as Yandrasand, steps forward slightly and launches a crossbow bolt blindly into the melee, actually injuring an opponent. Yandrasand's going for a nice stroll. He decides, you know what he really needs is to not be here right now. So he's just gonna have a pleasant stroll, humming to himself as he wanders off into this nice little corner. He's gonna call it Yandrasand's Corner Shop. Rusvik, flinging into a blind rage, goes to destroy a skeleton, but he still sucks, so he doesn't. Bear needs to take up this vantage point, and also sucks. So Vost, being the party leader, needs to show off, prove his dominance, so he strikes out and does pretty decent damage. Yeah, he does pretty decent. It's like he knows how to wield a sword sometimes, but only sometimes. The skeletons are garbage. Thanes is also garbage. Vost with the attack of opportunity as the skeleton sprinkles itself with sparkling dust, I guess. Still not quite sure what that is. Probably just trying to throw me off my game. That didn't look right, but alright, Yandrasand. Let's go off this way. Let's explore. Yandrasand's having a little exploration party. Moving up here. Good. Greets. Crossfit. Crush. Nope. Okay. There. Crush 'em. That's not okay. That's something, I guess. No, we'll get there. There's no dramatic flair to this anymore. When the combat lasts this long, there's just nothing left to do. Stop doing so low damage. Just destroy him. Stop casting magic missile. What are you? Fucking magic missile me. Andresan's little adventure. Here he goes, exploring the dungeon on his own. Pro tip, if you're a wizard, never ever do this in a D&D game. Never ever ever do this. This is a terrible idea. Well, we'll get there. See, when I play D&D or run D&D, I always think I should add dramatic flair to my combat. I need to describe things. People need to have dramatic, not speeches, but dramatic dialogue in the middle of combat. But when it gets to the point where everyone is missing, no one's doing decent damage, it's been like 8 rounds of combat, and we're at a standstill, basically, it breaks down into a farce. Right? Like, if you play this scene out realistically, they're standing around swinging at each other, clashing weapons and whatnot, and nothing is getting done, and it's just awful. It's awful and dull, and it's hard to keep the imagination coming. How fucking far can he go? Do it, Andrew. How is he still alive? How much HP do you have? Thank you. Holy shit. Still doesn't quite look right. Don't think arrows travel like that. What, no more spontaneous magic missiles? Fucking amazing. Oh, Andresan's little vacation. Ah, yes, who knew? The underground of Waterdeep could be such a relaxing place for a nice stroll. That's what Andresan sounds like, probably. Thrilling. Amazing. I am so engaged right now. Game of the century. Woo. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. How many magic missiles do you have? I have a sneaking suspicion that Skeleton's not playing by the rules. Which is fine. I guess the GM doesn't need to play by the rules. The fact that I can move him this far is ridiculous. I did it! Oh man, that took a while. Ambush skeletons!